Hello everyone, welcome back to Droid Game Fan. This is part 9 of my walkthrough of Detective Grimoire. Okay, so I'm almost done putting this picture back together again. So yes, this is Mr. Remington and some kind of hunting party. Okay, it's completed.
This and some other men I don't know.
Oh, clicked it too fast.
Maybe I can ask Harper about it.
Okay, first order of cryptozoology, hunters headquarters. A group photo of a hunting club. A young Remington stands among the friends. They are all holding rifles. Okay, so Remington was hunting the boggy character.
An old hunting rifle, discarded carelessly near the window. This isn't the kind of thing I can ignore.
Okay, so is this a rifle he wanted to use to shoot the boggy creature?
This is the creepiest office I've ever been in. It's a sharp metal poker for a fireplace, hidden in the shadows. Something about those three prongs. I feel like I just stumbled across an incredibly important piece of evidence.
Okay, a long poker hidden in the Remington's office. Okay, so there's dry blood at the tips of the prongs, so this was used to kill Remington. They matched it up with Remington's wounds. Could this be the murder weapon?
Am I uncovered a secret in here?
Explains why was a ghost murdered the victim, was found at the belonged to a secret society. Disprove that it's historical evidence that shouldn't be the reason. Okay, the hunting photo explains why Richard Remington belonged to a secret society.
The hunting photo explains why Richard Remington belonged to a secret society. Ooh, that's nearly right.
Okay, so it's almost right. So I gotta change something. This historical. The hunting photo is historical evidence that Richard Remington belonged to a secret society.
Is historical evidence that Richard Remington belonged to a secret society. I'm getting a strong feeling that Remington might be the bad guy in this story. If he wasn't already dead, I would have loved to ask him a couple of questions. I should ask around, see if I can gather any information about his motives for being here.
I mean, come on, his motives are clear. He was here to shoot the boggy creature. I mean, that's why there's all these hunting memorabilia in his office.
It would be an impressive collection if it wasn't so disturbing.
He was a hunter.
Hunting memorabilia, it would be... No way. No way. Is this a werewolf?
Doesn't look like a werewolf.
No way. These animals, they're all...
Okay. So his secret society
I don't recognize any of them.
Was hunting
These
mythical
animals, I don't
creatures. I mean, come on, a werewolf,
These animals,
Loch Ness monster type creature, yeah.
Jar, and I wish it wasn't in there.
So yes, society was hunting rare mystical animals.
Lining the wall above the fire, but one of the frames is empty. Wait a sec. This photograph, it's a young Remington, and then some other men I don't know. They're all holding rifles. Maybe I can ask Harper about it. Something happened here. There are signs of a struggle between the desk and the window. Something happened here. There are signs. The open window looks over the wooden planks outside. Oh, and on one side, a part of the curtain has been ripped off.
Yes, and that curtain was used to make the boggy costume. Okay, so someone killed Remington with a poker, ripped the curtain and made that boggy head out of it. Okay, so it looks like this tourist attraction was just a front. I mean, he was secretly hunting the boggy character. But who killed him? Was it one of his hunting buddies? Cryptozoologist hunters. Let's see. Seeing all that green slime is the same as the other ones. Okay, so okay, maybe they know about something.
I found these designs for a costume, a boggy costume.
The legendary swamp creature.
Yeah, that's the one.
But these are just a child's drawings, are they not?
You think?
Perhaps. It's difficult to tell.
Okay.
You saw Remington last night, but had you met him before? Did you know him?
I've never really spoken with him, but we've come into contact a few times. Vincent likes to handle that kind of work, and I like to let him.
What do you think of this place? The tourist attraction, I mean.
I can't say I like the idea of a natural area like this becoming commercialized.
I know! I just can't understand why anyone would even try.
I think Mr. Remington had his reasons. He looked like a man with a couple of secrets.
Yes, it's a front.
I have no idea. If I knew, they wouldn't be secrets.
Okay, so I guess I talked to the director.
What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder? That's great. I'm sorry, I have not seen that before. What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder? That's great.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have not seen that before.
Okay, he doesn't know anything. Let's hurry up and go
Some
through all
evidence from
these.
last night's murder? That's great. That's the food I saw Mr. Remington eating at the cafe last night.
Before he got ill and rushed back to his office?
That's right.
This is going down in my notebook. It might be important.
You already know it's important.
I'm sorry, I have not seen that
Has
before.
poison all over it.
What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder? That's great. You should ask someone else. Try showing it to somebody different.
Okay, let's talk to the director.
I don't really have time to be looking at items from your collection.
Well, it's not like you're doing
You won't be
anything
getting
else
very
except
far
standing
discussing
there.
that with me. Try someone less important. If you want an autograph, a plain sheet of paper will suffice, thank you. I don't really have time to be looking at items from your... You won't be getting very far. If you want an autograph... I don't really have time to be looking at... You won't be getting very... If you want an autograph...
Okay, I'm getting nowhere with these
I don't really
clues.
have time. You won't be getting very... If you want an autograph... I don't really have time to be...
Okay, profile.
You want me to sign a photograph for you? I'm a busy man, and this doesn't look like it's worth my time.
Okay, what about the costume?
What can you tell me about these designs for a boggy costume?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're sure you didn't see anything like this while you were filming yesterday? Wait, hold on a minute. What if
Don't you dare ask.
This costume isn't your doing, is it? Made for your movie, I mean?
My friend, there will be no costumed idiots within the viewfinder of my camera. I can assure you that.
What about your boggy movie? Isn't that gonna be, like, a guy in a costume, or a puppet, or one of those weird robot things?
Technology has been kind to people like me. We no longer have any need for such tomfoolery. I can create a perfectly believable swamp creature within the confines of a computer. Much cheaper, too.
No, a puppet or a costume is
I
cheaper
suppose you've met without
than
murder,
CGI.
Mr. Remington.
Yes, I've been in and out of this place for a while now. Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times. Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Well, that much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere, made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two. Or three. But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that man. He understood how to make things work for him.
Okay, so I don't think the director killed him. I mean, he's not a hunter. So, is someone... Oh, I was just about to say it. I got one more suspect.
These flower petals seem a little out of place, lying on the ground over there.
What is that? Stop.
These flower petals
Does
seem
that
a
stop
little out of place, lying on
Swamping the
ground over there.
swamp? Let's see, a
A
protester?
rather prominent tree stump looming over the wooden pathway. It's hard to ignore.
Ah, you've arrived at a bad time, my friend. For once, they don't actually want tourists walking around this place.
I always arrive at a bad time. It's what I do. I'm a detective, not a tourist.
My apologies. It's just, you have the same wide-eyed expression as the kids that come here. Running around, spending their parents' money, you know.
Well, you know, it's not every day I visit a swamp full of such unique specimens.
It's no problem. You're just thinking what we all thought when we arrived for the first time.
Why didn't they put in a bathroom?
No, you're thinking, this place is beautiful. What a lucky man I am to be here.
I am I?
no,
if
not
you
really.
say So?
Edward Everstone, at your service.
That's a pretty cool name. Can I call you Ed?
You don't need to. Everyone just calls me Echo.
Why? Because it gives you a sense of purpose. Why? Because you're a good swimmer. Why? Because you bounce as if I threw you at the wall.
Why? Because it gives you an elevated sense of purpose.
What? No. Because I always come back, again and again, until my job is done.
What is your job?
You're protesting, right?
I certainly am. And now that you're here,
That's
I'm
not a
getting
job.
involved.
What does that mean? Yeah, I haven't got time to hold up signs for you. I'm sorry.
You simply have to hear my message and take it with you.
Go ahead. I'm all ears. Plus, I have a little notebook.
What was the first thing you felt when you saw the sign for Boggy's Bog looming over you?
Well, I thought it
Not
was...
thought. Felt.
I felt... Well, something seemed wrong. There wouldn't be a tourist attraction in the middle of a swamp like this. There shouldn't be.
Well, I don't know about
My
it
job is
shouldn't
done.
be.
Clearly your brain is working perfectly, Detective.
So you're against the tourist attraction?
Yes, the tourist
Yeah,
attraction
let's
is a
say the
front.
This area was kept as a natural habitat, right?
Right again. And that precise word, habitat. First and foremost, I'm protesting for animal rights.
Well, okay, I'm following you, but
Haven't
it's
saw
not
any
like they're
animals in this
cutting
park.
down trees or anything like that, right?
All animals deserve the right to live in peace, and I promise you, on a normal day, this place is far from peaceful.
Are you talking about the swamp creature? About Boggy?
A creature like that. He's earned the right to be left alone. We're fools to invite ourselves into his home like this on a daily basis, assuming he's not going to mind. Assuming he'll keep to himself and let us walk around with his face on our t-shirts.
Well, I agree. I think he should be left alone. But like you said, he can probably handle himself. And if no one has even seen him in 60 years, I don't really see the problem.
Unlike you, Detective, I never had an academic calling in life. I was never even a talented artist or musician or anything. So instead, I made the decision to stand up for those who were getting a raw deal.
Okay, where were you last night?
You come here every day.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm only going to ask you about one of those days. What were you doing yesterday evening?
I was here at my protest spot until fairly late. Then I went to get something to eat at Harper's Cafe before I...
Wait, you ate at the cafe here? Doesn't supporting the tourist attraction like that kind of go against your protest?
A man has to eat, doesn't he? I don't think the meager contributions of one person... are going to keep
You
this
could have
place
brought your
afloat,
own food.
especially now.
And you're sleeping here? Doesn't it get cold at night?
Well, I came prepared, of course. I usually find myself with 1 or 2 extra layers to wear. Most of this bulk is padding, I promise you.
I'm sure it is. So you stayed here the whole night?
That's right. And I admit I may have heard some stranger than usual sounds floating around the swamp last night.
Like
What
someone
kind of
being
sounds?
killed?
It's impossible to say. This place fills with the most terrifying sounds at night. Hundreds of animals, some tiny, some much larger, awaken and make their own protests. Every night until the sun rises in the morning.
Insects make noises at night. Okay, I've written it down. What can you tell me about these designs for a costume? A Boggy
It's
costume.
Boggy! I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan? So you're interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well, Boggy has been in all kinds of cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100
Okay,
years.
he's a Boggy
I've got some comics in my
fanboy.
tent. You really should see.
But he was only discovered 60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I bound it up.
But what about his costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can
Like
honestly
yourself?
say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person.
So what did Mr. Remington think of you? I mean, protesting in the middle of a swamp every day.
It wasn't his swamp. If he ever truly thought it was, then he was even more of a fool than he seemed.
But he didn't like you hanging around, right?
That man was exceptionally skilled at ignoring me. Ignoring anything he didn't like.
So, what? He just left you alone?
He expected me to get bored and go home. He figured I'd get sick of this place and he'd have it back to himself.
But he didn't want it to himself, did he? He wanted lots of people to come visit all the time, surely.
I'm sure it says that in the brochure. Yes.
Okay, you built a swamp in the middle of nowhere,
I'm
hoping no
afraid I
one
have
show
no
up
idea.
because you're secretly hunting the boggy character.
Show it to somebody else.
Okay, this is the end of part 9. I'll see you
thanks,
guys
my
in
friend.
part 10.
I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else. No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else. No thanks, my friend.